Hey guys, Akio Murasaki here. I know, it's been a while. Today I want to talk about the Now That We Draw anime that has just now, no, not now, a couple of days ago, has been officially announced. I knew of the existence of the manga. I haven't personally read it, but it's been kind of, cruising at the edge of my radar. Now it's getting an anime adaptation, so I might actually watch that instead. Spoiler alert, I guess, is absolutely beautiful. We're gonna watch the trailer and then we're gonna see some of the most obscene reaction from, I'm gonna say quote-unquote fans. We'll get there exactly what I mean. You'll see for yourself. But first, let's watch the trailer. Alright, let's get Oh yeah, I can't spoil anything because unfortunately I don't know much about the story other than kind of the basics. So I want to see how this exactly looks in anime form.
ボロクソ言われた原稿が何の間違いかクラス1のギャルに見られてしまった。
Oh my god, okay.
好きな漫画は何？愛があるよね。キャラクターにさ。漫画家なろうね。一緒に。
もう一度書いてみようかな。
夢&青春ど真ん中ラブコメディ。
かくなる上はテレビアニメ化決定です。
Okay. You guys keep seeing the majority of the trailer. Okay, so first impression kind of. This seems like a cross between Bakuman and My Dress Up Darling, where the two of the characters, this time they both want to become mangakas. I said Bakuman because in Bakuman only the main character and his friend wanted to become mangakas, while the girl wanted to become, as far as I remember now, a voice actress. And they both kind of, were pursuing the dream. They wanted to get somewhere, and they wanted to join in that passion of pursuing a dream. Here, it's kind of, I guess, more like Dress Up Darling in the sense that they do share a passion, which is aiming to become a mangaka, but they're both drawing, so that's quite interesting. The animation looks really good, I have to say, from the short trailer, very cute. I definitely like the colors. And yeah, positive vibes whatsoever. I've seen a couple of the parts, kind of the shots from the manga itself. I think it looks pretty good, but like unfortunately, like a lot of titles, I simply did not manage to pick it up, especially now that I'm more reading light novels and stuff. I don't always have time for this, but so far I would say it looks very promising. I think anime in itself is kind of a little easier to consume because you can cover way more of the story in episodes instead of reading, even though I personally prefer manga over anime. But I'm definitely going to at least give it a try. Let's see how it develops. But I have to say, the comments are absolutely brutal under this one. I said from fans, but I'm gonna just show you the comments and let's see who the fans really are, right? Okay, so let's see. Another incel anime. Oh, okay, we start off strong here, don't we? Incel fantasy anime. Why is she built like that? Well, I'm guessing she drinks a lot of milk. Okay, another one. Another incel friendly romcom. Let's see how many tourists, this one's very accurate. Let's see how many tourists are gonna get pissy about this one. We've seen quite a lot, and there's actually even more in this and in other common threads. Yay, another 12 episodes, one mid-season, where generic looking male MC, I mean generic looking because what? Because he has black hair, like every single Asian character, well, almost every single Asian character in manga and anime. With no personality. Okay, no personality. Clearly you haven't read it. You know absolutely nothing about it. Okay, great. No personality. I've seen plenty of personality from him in this very short trailer clip, so whatever. Why are there Western tourists in the comments? Yeah, that's a very good question. Get your ass out of here. Yes, please, kindly. That basically summarizes my opinion on this as well. And we're seeing, oh, finally, okay, we have finally an actual fan that apparently has been reading the manga and finally has been waiting for the anime adaptation. There's some positivity here. F, the tourists, another piece to remember, American, okay, not made for you. It's made for a broader audience. Here, for instance, is another announcement with the same trailer. This one's from Manga Mogura RE from another account on Twitter here. And can you guess what the comments are in their majority here? Okay, this one's first not so bad. Haven't read watched Rome since Nagatoro ended. The girl character has a cool look. I definitely, she's kind of more like the marine type. She like Kitagawa. She looks more like a gyaru and not entirely surprising here. And then, of course, second comment, why are they always sexualizing minors? Wow, okay, great. Another one, bait for lonely dudes who get no itches and stack on paper. Oh, Goku fan, of course. You might want to read your manga and then have an opinion afterwards and not the other way around. Literally, why the F is she built like this? I mean, why are anime characters built like anime characters, right? Very shocking. Here we have more comments from Chibi Reviews, who somehow seems to be attracting a lot of these very weird people. Well, as here they're just commenting on the Anime TV channel here on Twitter. Another shoujo with the most boring, it's not a shoujo, it's actually a seinen. With the most boring black-haired MC and the gyaru big-titted minor. Okay, I mean, it's set in school, so is she supposed to be an adult? Is that how it's supposed to work? And that is a problem. Let me quick reminder who the target audience for anime in Japan is. Yes, you've guessed it. It's teenagers. I know it's shocking. Bruno Bucciarati for sure. Might find this part surprising. What else do we have here? There's of course more. The couple design makes me uncomfortable. And why is that? Because she's cute and he's a regular guy? I love hate differences, like Lovely Complex. Oh man, this one's really old, but okay. But the girl looks like a young adult and the boy looks like a child. That is not my impression, but okay, fair enough. I'm so sick of teenage girls getting objectified getting animes. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe you should not be watching anime then. Clearly you're not the target audience. Oh, Shonen Ramen's big titty high schooler slub, how I hate you. Then pick up a different one. Oh my god, guys. I'm seeing, and here's another one here. Shonen Romcom's obsession with pairing up an average loser with a tall, pretty girl instead of making both attractive needs to be studied. I already mentioned my dress-up darling. In my dress-up darling, Wakana, sorry, I keep forgetting his name. Wakana, for instance, is actually fairly attractive. Both Marin and Wakana are fairly attractive. So I don't exactly know what the problem here is. This is not a trend. And again, there is one person here, Gio, for instance, who mentions it's like, that is absolutely not an issue at all. It's not pairing an average loser as an average looking guy with a tall, pretty girl. I think the problem is that people take like some of these, like some very specific anime, okay? They see this one specific anime that I just kind of mentioned here. What was it called? Now That We Draw. Okay, so they see this one specific thing. And they think to themselves, and they basically line up every single one where this specific trope appears, like for instance, Dandadan. And they're like, oh yeah, they're all like this. No. You simply haven't read much or you haven't seen much. And that is actually sad because, you know, just off the top of this person's head here, Geoff can list several where the main character is actually not just average looking. Like for instance here, Wakana is fairly attractive, I have to say. Maybe not in this shot specifically, but when you see him getting passionate about making cosplays, you can definitely relate to Marine's kind of attraction to him. And there's more, obviously. We have this character here in 100 Girlfriends. We have here Chitose in the Ramune series, fairly long-running light novel series, where the main character is, ironically, super attractive. And the girls just keep on throwing themselves at him, but he's not into this. One way or another. It's a little complicated. Don't want to spoil the story here, but I think there's some trope inversion actually going on here that makes the story quite interesting. Then we have Blue Box, where the main character has a six-pack. Yes, actually yes. And this is, I want to say it's a shoujo. I would need to check specifically. It kind of feels a little bit like a shoujo, but on the other hand could also be shonen series. So for more of a boy demographic here. But again, this is more about aligning. And I think Brandon Riley, if you don't know Brandon, big gacha player, Brandon Riley really hits it on the head here. Why are rom-coms, why are shonen and seinen rom-coms like this? It is obvious. They're aimed at average teenage boys. I'm gonna add some context to this. Why exactly they're kind of average looking? It has a lot to do with Japanese culture and dress code and how people build their appearances. Making them see super attractive and charismatic right from the get-go makes them unrelatable. That is actually true. The average reader of a shonen series is going to be, believe it or not, an average looking dude. Of course he'd get with the girl now. A kid who has self-confidence issues is just going to feel even worse for not being able to measure up to that. And that's also true, but on top of this, the true fantasy is being loved for who you are or growing over the course of the story. And that is very clearly shown, for instance, in My Dress Up Darling, where the reason why Marine falls in love with Wakana is because of his passion. So there is definitely, and here I think in We Draw Now, or whatever it's called, I feel like it's a very similar situation that even though the character is very average looking, there is something more to him. And that is also the same case with Dandadan, for instance, where the main character is, he's an occult aficionado, he's simply an occult otaku. And despite that, the girl starts liking him because, again, there's a little more than appearances. I know, for a lot of people, and this is what really annoys me with a lot of these quote-unquote fans, let's just be honest here, they're not fans, they're just plain tourists. People who have invaded the weeb spaces and who now infested them to such an extent that you go into one of these threads and you're seeing like a fairly decent, well-animated, promising rom-com series, and you're getting incel accusations all over the place. Yeah, unfortunately, this mainstreaming anime was an absolute mistake. Please protect your hobbies. But the other thing I wanted to say, so one thing is obviously less about appearances, more about the depth. I'm gonna give Brandon a like here for this. This is an absolutely correct take on it. And also this kind of like if you're reading and if you're reading a manga like this or watching an anime like this, you can tell it's actually aspirational, because it's to you as a viewer, as a reader, it tells you if you are passionate about something, you will find people who will genuinely find this attractive. And I think this is genuinely very, very uplifting, and it's also very true in reality. If you look around you, you will see a lot of, average looking couples. You will see quite some couples where the girl is super cute, the guy not necessarily so. But then think about it, why that is the case. Maybe really there is something about the guy that you cannot simply gauge from appearances. And that in the end is a positive thing. I really thought that values like this are valued in the West, but apparently they're not as much. They're only superficially valued, and are honestly valued in the East, in Japan, for instance. But there's another aspect to this that is unrelated to what Brandon here said, but it's also because the way girls and boys build their appearances. This is especially clear, I'm not sure, I think also in China, but especially clear in Japan. It's way easier for a girl with the accessibility of different beauty products, makeup, and kind of like improvement products that Japan offers, even stuff like adding like a second eyelid, which is considered quite attractive. It has a lot of these tools that makes it easier for a girl, even like a fairly average looking girl, to become very attractive. Also clothes, for instance, that is very much a thing in Japan. For boys, that is really not the case. Guys do not wear makeup, do not have any kind of tools other than, let's say, hair wax or hair gel that would make them look more attractive. They don't wear jewelry typically. There isn't really any kind of like jewelry that would make you as a guy magically more attractive, I would say. So there's this like very strong imbalance. That's why you will see a lot of really cute looking girls hanging out with average looking dudes, and that's basically how it works in Asia. I'm sorry to say this. Western audiences really need to consider the fact that anime is primarily made for Japanese audiences, for Asian audiences, who can also relate to the stories, can relate to the culture in Japan. That is not the thing in the West, and as I said earlier, we are dealing with monumental levels of tourist and normie infestation in weeb spaces, which is very apparent from the comments in this thread, as you can see. The minority of them actually come from fans who would enjoy the series, and the majority have come from people who, I mean, I don't even know why they leave these comments, because they're clearly not going to enjoy the story, they're not going to enjoy the presentation, not going to enjoy this specific anime. Then don't watch it. Like, you can always walk away, you can always watch something else. And when it comes to anime, when it comes to manga, the diversity, the genuine diversity of stories is such that someone could very easily here, for instance, pick up 4 different animes where the main male protagonist is actually fairly attractive. Just off the top of the head, because there are simply so many different unique stories. But for whatever reason, I don't even know why. Oh, also another one here, Ranma, obviously, where the main character is incredibly attractive. There are a lot of different stories, different plots, different looking characters, where the main male protagonist is going to be attractive, or not attractive, or shy, or not so shy. If you don't like this specific one, don't watch it. No one's forcing you. That is kind of the problem I see here. And really, we need to speak against comments like this one here. We need to speak against a lot of these weird tourist comments here in this thread, where people start calling this incel anime fantasy, incel fantasy. Guys, it's not for you. You're not the target audience. Get over yourselves. Not everything, not every single anime needs to cater to you. You really need to kind of understand this, no? Not everything is about you, okay? And this is kind of the approach, not this that I mentioned, but the healthy approach is the one I typically take when it comes to anime, manga, light novels. If it's not something for me, I don't read it, I don't watch it, I don't participate. I simply look at the story. It might seem interesting, it's simply not my thing. I'm not going to go around and shit on it simply because it's not something I find interesting. And I kind of wish more people who interact with anime, with manga, would take this kind of approach, because it's incredibly tiring where you see all of this negativity and all of these like weird voices in the broader community who for some reason need to have every single thing catering to them. God, it's so tiring, man. I genuinely, as a kind of like TLDR and a take home from all of this, I genuinely wish we could finally return to early 2000s or even before that, where anime and manga, where Japanese pop culture in the West was considered a niche hobby, and only people who genuinely liked it participated in it. Because what's happening right now, it's a pandemonic level infestation. And if you're a weeb, if you love Japanese pop culture, please stand up to it, and we really need to fight against it. But that's basically it for this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Mata ne!